What's going on, everybody? I'm Quest for Nostalgia. I'm a YouTube content creator and stream variety games over on Twitch. And in this video, I want to go over what it's been like being on the PlayStation for a year after switching from being on Xbox for like 17 years. As always, if you're liking the content, please think about dropping a subscribe, like the video, talk to me through the comments. It really helps, especially if you make it all the way through the video. That helps my videos get shared, so keep that in mind. I was on the PlayStation 1. My grandmother brought me this when I was in probably, I don't know, second grade. It's funny, she got me games like Spice World and some other little things, Casper the Friendly Ghost. But I loved this console, and I was on there, and I was on the PlayStation 2. But eventually I got brought over to Xbox. I got really addicted to Halo and things like that, and playing the multiplayer side when we got to things like the Xbox 360, because I loved Xbox Live. And I spent years and years over on Xbox playing these first-person shooters and just really hanging out with my friends. As I got older, though, it was a lot harder to link up with your friends and spend time doing these multiplayer games and spending so many hours playing Call of Duty. So during quarantine, I grabbed a PlayStation, and it came with a bunch of games, and I started making a collection of games and filling up this backlog of things that I had missed over on PlayStation. I also bought VR as soon as I bought the PlayStation as well, and so my collection of games exploded. I used things like buying big bulk, batches on Facebook. I did, buy two get two free over at, gaming stores and things like that. And man, my collection just blossomed so fast, buying all the things that I missed out on. Within the year of having the PlayStation, I beat 39 games, a lot of them being exclusive, some of them not, but I played them all through the PlayStation, and 39 games got beat within this year. What was nice about coming to PlayStation so late is that most of these exclusives and launch titles and really good titles for the PlayStation were so cheap because it was so late in life, so I was able to buy so many of them for so little and really fill up that backlog. You may have seen my recent video about God of War, but yeah, things like God of War, things about Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima, the Spider-Man games, that genre of game I loved. I enjoyed doing that adventure, slightly open world with all these missions, and it's kind of like a collectathon at the same. I really enjoyed doing all of those. You may have also seen my other videos about Uncharted. Going back to the Uncharted series, I did not enjoy the way that those played. The Last of Us, I did 1 and 2 as well this year and got into those series of PlayStation. And I found myself liking The Last of Us a lot more than, say, the Uncharted, even though they're so similar. VR just blew my mind. It's just something that I could not stop talking about. I enjoyed so much just seeing the scale of games. I played Skyrim, and I tried Skyrim on Xbox and things like that as well, but in VR it just took it to a whole nother level, and it really allowed me to enjoy the game. I loved playing things like Astrobot and Moss, these almost like Mario 64 games for the VR, and it was fantastic. The PlayStation exclusive games also brought me into franchises and genres that I never really got into. Things like Bloodborne. I played Bloodborne for the first time this year, and oh my gosh, I ended up loving it so much, and it sent me down the rabbit hole of the Dark Souls and Sekiro games. That was so much fun to do. I ended up playing all of them besides Dark Souls 2, which I haven't got around to just yet. Another exclusive to the PlayStation for now is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I played that in the beginning of January, and I had never played a Final Fantasy before. That was my first one, but then right after I played Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy XIII, Final Fantasy 15, and just sent me down that rabbit hole of Final Fantasies. I wouldn't have gotten into those had I not played the exclusive first on PlayStation, like 7 Remake and Bloodborne. But then also JRPGs. I played Ni no Kuni 1, Ni no Kuni 2, and then I also now doing Persona 5 Royal, which is another exclusive to the PlayStation. There are still so many games for the PlayStation that I haven't played, and my backlog is really big still. And like I said, since I branched into other genres, these games may be on other platforms like Dragon Quest XI and Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age, but still, I'm drawn to play it on the PlayStation now because that's where my kind of collection started. I mentioned that I played God of War, Horizon, Spider-Man. All these games are about to start getting their sequels for the PlayStation 5, and so it's such an awesome time to have gone through those and now to have more games coming my way to keep going in that series. It's been wonderful switching over to PlayStation. At this time in my life, now that I'm older, and like I said, it's harder to link up with people and play these multiplayer games, which you can still do on the PlayStation, but that was really my only draw to Xbox, was that social aspect of Xbox Live. And now doing a lot more single player story based games, the PlayStation is really thriving. I love the cutscenes that they put into their games. I love the storytelling that they do. And so it's been really nice. And on top of that, I've said this before, but Sony gives the best games with their monthly subscriptions. We got Final Fantasy VII Remake as a game, with their subscription. We got, PGA 2K21, right now. There's just been tons of them. The Uncharted's, Ratchet and Clanks, that's another game that I haven't got around to yet that I'm super excited to do. But they just really give out full-fledged games with their subscription, whereas Xbox gives you these indie titles that they've never really sold, and they just kind of throw them in there. The good games that come with the Xbox are usually like an Xbox 360 title that you'd like to have, like Dead Space or something like that. Overall, I highly recommend switching over to PlayStation if you haven't yet, or getting both. It's just been really, really nice and really rewarding, and I'm super happy. It's very easy to tell if you look at my Xbox One collection physical and then my PlayStation 4 collection physical. You can see the love. You can see how it boomed and blossomed, and how deep I dove into being on the PlayStation. Let me know in the comments below whether or not you're, still hesitant to come over to the PlayStation, things that you love about the PlayStation, things that you hate, and that's fine too. And just let's have a conversation about it. Again, subscribe, like, comment. If you're this far, you've made it through the video, and that means a ton to me. It really helps get this video shared, and that really does wonders for the channel. So thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. But that's it for this one. Thank you guys again. I love you guys. Have a good one. Peace.